Hi wrestling fans, thanks for clicking on another dreaded D-Rose report when, by the way, Mistico has signed with WWE and now his name is Sin Cara, maybe that's what it's pronounced, C-A-R-A. Anyway, he was introduced at WWE's press conference in Mexico yesterday. He came out with the Mistico style mask on, which was his old mask, and when it came time that WWE announced him, he jerked off the mask and had another new WWE mask underneath. And Sin Cara, by the way, reportedly means faceless. WWE set up a Facebook for him, by the way, if you want to check it out, and Twitter account. Alright, as noted before, I was telling you yesterday about WWE, I believe it was yesterday, day before, about Raw, the best of season 3 and 4 DVD from their list has been taken off the planned release date and pushed back, and also Triple H's DVDs pushed back to 2012. And according to WWE DVD News, WWE has added a new DVD set on Rey Mysterio. Is going to be released in July. Also, they're working on the Greatest Stars of the Millennium. There's going to be a 3 DVD set coming out in July also. DVD's kind of a takeoff on the Greatest Stars of the 80s and the Greatest Stars of the 90s set. They were good sets too. They just didn't want to go into the 2000s, I guess. Alright, finally, WWE may have changed the format, believe it or not. They're doing some little fine tuning, I guess, on Randy Orton's DVD. Coming out in September. DVD's no longer called Randy Orton Experience. What it's called is, I don't know. They don't know. And it's a sign of how much WWE thinks about the Intercontinental title anymore. The fact that Kofi Kingston versus Alberto Del Rio was a non-title match for Elimination Chamber was to be ignored by the commentary and promotion of the match. They didn't want them to mention that somebody's got a title involved, even though it's not going to be involved. WWE had talked at one point about making a title match and having the IC champion Alberto versus the World Heavyweight Champion Edge at WrestleMania 27, but decided against it. They feel it's going to be better for Del Rio to go to WrestleMania without the title. They got something in the back of their mad little minds on what they're up to. Alright, WWE's WrestleMania Access signings on Saturday night during the Hall of Fame ceremony are usually dreaded by some of the WWE talent because they miss the start of the Hall of Fame ceremony sometimes. Wrestlers are signing during the Hall, and this year, by the way, who's going to be signing? David Hart Smith, Tyson Kidd, Usos, Primo, Chris Masters, Caitlyn, Rosa Mendez, Gabriel, and Slater, Barrett, Ezekiel Jackson. Chavo Classic, by the way, Chavo Classic Guerrero, recently appeared on, it was a .com show. I didn't write down the name. Anyway, he was asked about his brother Eddie's daughter, Shaw Guerrero. Anyway, she debuted in Florida Championship Wrestling a while back, and Chavo said he wishes he could have trained Shaw before she went there, just to be safe and the best served. He would like to have done the training ahead of time. He said also that he believes that if Eddie were still alive, Shaw would not be involved in the wrestling business at all. Chavo Sr. also said that Vicky has really separated herself from the Guerrero family since the passing of Eddie. Alright, going into the apparent WrestleMania feud with the United States World Champion Daniel Bryan. Can't get used to calling him Daniel Bryan. Anyway, Sheamus currently is on a 6-loss losing streak on WWE television and pay-per-view matches. The former WWE champion has a pay-per-view TV win-loss record of 1-8 for 2011 so far. Noted before, Raw producer Kevin Dunn reportedly isn't a fan of Sheamus. But he used to be kind of in bed with Triple H, but maybe that's all fell apart now. By the way, today's birthday, Ric Flair, 62. Sean O'Hare, remember him? He went off into the MMA world. I don't think he did very good there. Anyway, he's 40. DJ Gabriel Steve Wellington, 28 years old. Maria Canales, 29. Kofi Kingston's going to be appearing at Kmart on Dale Mabry Highway in Tampa, Florida, Thursday, March 10th from 6 to 8 p.m. Why he's going to be on the highway is beyond me, but that's what it says. Former WWE star, maybe somebody will pick him up. Anyway, WWE star Shad Gaspar is going to be doing some modeling lately here. I don't know why. Anyway, WWE's Elimination Chamber pay-per-view this past weekend drew about 11,500 fans at the Oracle Arena, Oakland, California. Cauliflower Alley Club Reunion. I'm not sure if you know about that or not, but that's where a lot of the old wrestlers get together. They join a club with cauliflower ear, where that comes from. Anyway, they get together, I think, once a year, maybe 2 or 3 times a year. I'm not sure. But I know they do usually once a year around WrestleMania time. It was announced that the WWE purchased a banquet table for 10 at the Las Vegas event late in April. 2 names reportedly attend on WWE behalf is going to be Sergeant Slaughter and Honky Tonk Man. Jim Ross will also attend. Cauliflower Alley has promoted that it's that 10 major stars will be at the WWE table. They always, it's good to be represented, and they get together and donate money and help see how everybody is. Bobby Heenan's usually there every year. He's one of the best speakers. Used to be. All right, as noted earlier, this is kind of strange. TNA advertised their most shocking moment of the year. Now this is kind of a spoiler, so you might want to turn the sound down on your speaker. TNA was advertising their most shocking moment of the year for the end of the last night of Impact. The shocker ended up being a 3/3/11 vignette for the return of Sting. So anyway, it's obvious a mock of WWE's 2/21/11 vignettes. Anyway, it's interesting that TNA is trying to take a jab at WWE for possibly failing to deliver on Sting that everybody thought. I don't know who thought Sting was going to be in WWE. I have no idea. But WWE never intended for the 2/21/11 promos to be for Sting's debut anyway. You never know for real. ODB, by the way, returned to TNA Wrestling on TNA Impact to answer Women's Knockout Champion Madison Rain's open challenge. She lost the reign, though. Eric Bischoff said to be singing her praises, and he's all excited following the match. ODB, by the way, phased off of television last year when the company began focusing on looks and showcasing the beautiful people. Knockout Tracy Brooks, by the way, is advertised for this Saturday's AWE Superstar Pro Wrestling event at Palmyra, Virginia. You can check it out on their website. As reported earlier, Jeff Hardy's court hearing in February 16th resulted in another continuance. His next court date is March 21st. The attitude on Hardy's legal woes in TNA continues to be not a big deal. And no, I don't know, they just don't believe he's going to get any jail time. Of course, I would say Hardy's feeling the same way. And if he doesn't get any jail time, big money went somewhere. As noted before, Ted DiBiase and his brother Brett DiBiase will be appearing together in the FCW event on March 16th, Punta Gorda, Florida. FCW announced yesterday the brothers are going to be teaming up together later that night. WWE's FCW is going to be holding matches after the Bradenton Marauders Class A baseball game, June 24th at Bradenton, Florida. Theme of the night is swashbucklers and turnbuckles. Chris Jericho announced today in Los Angeles that he's going to be hosting the Revolver Golden God Awards, airing on VH1 Classic April 20th. Jericho's band Fozzy is going to be performing that night, and WWE Champion Miz has been nominated for the Most Mental Athlete Award. On that, I gotta go.